Selena Gomez has always maintained openness regarding her mental health journey, and recently, she engaged in an honest dialogue about her experiences with bipolar disorder. She joined Benny Blanco, her husband and the host of the Friends Keep Secrets podcast, for an in-depth conversation where she shared insights about her diagnosis, navigation through episodes of mania, and her evolution to a healthier mindset. Gomez explained to Blanco that before a formal diagnosis was confirmed, she sensed something wasn't quite right with her mental state, but initially received an incorrect diagnosis. She expressed her gratitude for attending 4 separate rehabilitation centers, emphasizing how each contributed to her eventual understanding of her condition. If you're engaged with Selena's journey, hit subscribe. There's so much more to unravel. Having first publicized her diagnosis in 2020, Gomez disclosed how she experimented with numerous therapists before clarity finally arrived. She remarked on the inherent complexity in suggesting therapy for others, remarking that it can be a daunting, complicated task rife with challenges, reflecting her own long journey that involved trial and error with different mental health professionals. She candidly described her perspective on life post-diagnosis, admitting that she now feels the freedom to live authentically, liberated by her newfound knowledge of managing her mental health. In a proud admission, Gomez shared that while moments of mania still occur, her ability to recognize them has improved significantly. Subscribe now to stay updated on Voices That Matter. Selena's story continues. She stressed there's no longer any shame in her experiences. Rather, her self-awareness allows her to catch manic episodes sooner than before. Blanco interjected, highlighting the crucial role he and other supportive partners play when difficulties arise. Blanco detailed situations where Selena might only become aware of a manic episode as it begins to ease, even occasionally lacking full recollection afterward. He highlighted how delicate these circumstances can be, noting that during the peak of an episode, it's generally inadvisable to engage directly with the affected person regarding their symptoms. To this, Gomez responded with appreciation, stating how valuable it is to have a partner who offers patience, understanding, and meets her exactly where she is, regardless of what the moment demands. From the beginning of her career, Gomez has been transparent about her struggles, previously sharing aspects of her mental health on various public forums. But this podcast episode offered an even more detailed glimpse into her personal reflections and the steps she's taken to prioritize wellness. As Selena discussed, she vividly recalled feelings of uncertainty prior to her official diagnosis, reporting that she knew internally something was amiss. Despite seeking help, initial answers only muddied the waters, leading her through numerous phases of confusion and frustration, until she was ultimately correctly diagnosed with bipolar disorder, a turning point she's described as transformative in her understanding of herself. For fresh takes and deeper insights, hit subscribe now. During her conversation with Blanco, she reminisced about the road to recovery, reiterating that her 4 stints in rehab each played integral roles in piecing together her awareness and equipping her to manage her illness. Gomez didn't shy away from admitting the exhaustive process of working with multiple therapists. She spoke about the ups and downs, the slow and sometimes painful steps necessary to build trust, and the trial it took before finding providers who truly supported her growth. Even with all she's learned, Gomez stressed, embarking on the path to get therapy or urge others to do the same is never straightforward. Breaking through stigmas and misconceptions remains challenging, as does sifting through an often overwhelming world of therapeutic approaches and opinions. These complexities contributed to her mixed feelings before she received the care she needed. Now, Selena explained, her journey has changed the way she views both personal freedom and happiness. Adept at noticing early warning signs, she's been able to preemptively address her mental health, a skill she attributes directly to her deeper understanding and self-acceptance. Blanco, listening and responding with empathy, pointed out the subtleties in recognizing when Gomez is experiencing mania. He noted that sometimes she fails to notice until after the fact, and at times cannot remember the details of what transpired, a reality common among those living with bipolar disorder. Blanco was careful to articulate that there's a delicate balance when supporting someone in these circumstances, particularly resisting the urge to confront or question the individual in the depths of an episode. Instead, He prioritizes patience, support, and a non-judgmental stance, understanding that respectful silence can be as helpful as words. Gomez, responding to this, echoed the importance of compassion in partnership, expressing how comforted she feels when Blanco meets her in her current state, whatever that might look like in the moment. She reaffirmed how critical it is to have a loved one who refrains from judgment, chooses understanding, and practices patience, especially in times of difficulty. This approach, she explained, has allowed her to build trust and feel less isolated in her struggles. Drawing from her past, Selena recounted moments when she was first grappling with her symptoms, detailing the confusion and internal battles she experienced as she searched for explanations. She described the emotional toll that inaccurate diagnoses and shifting therapeutic relationships took on her, painting a vivid picture of her persistence despite setbacks. As the conversation progressed, Gomez detailed the learning curve of understanding bipolar disorder, specifically the challenges in identifying episodes of mania versus depression and the day-to-day impact these swings had on her personal relationships and professional obligations. Step by step, Selena narrated her journey through multiple rounds of therapy, discussing the wide array of strategies and interventions she sampled before finding a path that resonated for her. She underlined how this lengthy process involved moments of self-doubt, but gradually yielded the insight she needed to manage her mental health with greater confidence. Speaking about the importance of faith, even in difficult times, Gomez referenced the vital role her inner circle played during her darkest periods, supporting her as she navigated the emotional turbulence brought on by her condition. She highlighted how reassuring it was to confide in friends and family members who listened without judgment, helping her feel anchored even as old fears resurfaced. By the midpoint of the podcast, Selena directed attention to the day-to-day strategies she now employs to monitor her mental health. Whether through journaling, regular therapy, or leaning on her support system, she emphasized the importance of self-awareness, a skill that took years to cultivate. Gomez also mentioned her ongoing commitment to honesty regarding her condition, not only for her own sake, but as a source of encouragement to others who may face similar struggles. Hit subscribe if you haven't yet. Stories like these need to be heard, she suggested candidly. Returning to the topic of mania, Selena openly discussed how her perspective has changed. No longer ashamed, she emphasized her pride in being able to identify and respond to the early indications of an episode. This self-knowledge, Gomez explained, has empowered her to intervene more proactively and limit the episode's impact, nurturing a heightened sense of self-acceptance. Blanco built upon this by elaborating the nuances of their partnership, noting how communication and mutual understanding are paramount to managing bipolar disorder together. He candidly shared examples of how he adapts his approach depending on Selena's state at any given moment, sometimes offering reassurance, other times respectfully stepping back to give her space. Throughout the exchange, Gomez made it clear that consistent, compassionate communication lays the foundation for effective relationships, especially when mental health is involved. As the conversation drew to a close, Selena expressed her gratitude for the hard-won lessons and growth achieved along the way. She advocated for others facing similar challenges, encouraging openness and persistence in seeking support, while also acknowledging that every journey is unique and requires a personalized approach. Her words served as a powerful reminder that resilience often stems from honesty with oneself and the people around you. If Selena's story inspires you, remember to subscribe. More journeys like hers are on the horizon. The podcast ended on a hopeful note, with both Gomez and Blanco reflecting on the progress made and the importance of continued awareness and acceptance in the ongoing pursuit of mental wellness. Their dialogue illustrated that, while the path to understanding bipolar disorder is complex and sometimes painful, it's possible to emerge stronger, wiser, and more compassionate. Throughout the entire exchange, there was a palpable sense of authenticity as Selena revisited her most vulnerable memories, always returning to the central theme of growth through self-compassion and partnership. By inviting listeners into her personal narrative, Gomez offered encouragement and hope, demonstrating that living with bipolar disorder can be met not with shame, but with pride, understanding, and an unwavering commitment to self-improvement. If you want more honest and inspiring stories, Don't forget to subscribe and stay connected.